Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Tactics Ogre Reborn walkthrough. Making our way through Palace of the Dead during CODA Episode 2. And so this is a pretty important battle. For one thing, I've actually already done this a couple of times, and I've gone actually through this kind of route a couple of times, but I wanted to learn a little bit more about the fight and kind of make some recommendations. It's very important to make sure that you have defeated Nybeth in Palace of the Dead on floor 100 during Chapter 4. Then you beat the game and do CODA Episode 1, then CODA Episode 2. What you want to do here is you want to go into your Warren report before you do this battle. Actually, I mean, honestly, before you even go into Palace of the Dead for CODA Episode 2. You want to go in here to People, and then you want to go down to the Necromancer Nybeth. Now, if it says that the Resistance finally defeated him and he became one with the Dark, vanishing from the land, you're good to go. You know that you've got him dead in your Warren report. The problem is if you haven't defeated Nybeth during Chapter 4 and then gone into CODA, Blackmoor will not be here. You can actually beat Blackmoor in Chapter 4 as well, right? So if in Chapter 4 you make it all the way through Palace of the Dead, kill Nybeth, and then you go back in and come back down here again to floor 100, you can beat him then. It's not a good idea though, because then when you get into CODA Episode 1, Blackmoor will be dead as well. So really don't want to be doing that, right? You want to go through Palace of the Dead, go through all 100, well, maybe not all 100 floors. You can take whatever route you want, skip as many floors as you feel you want to, but make sure Nybeth is dead. Then go into CODA, do CODA Chapter 1, then start on Chapter 2. The reason why you want to kill this guy also in Chapter 2 is that we're going through here anyway, regardless, right, to get Warren. And then on top of that, once we've beat him, you can actually go back, you can world back to the beginning of your chapter, or your Chapter 2 CODA, and basically farm him as many times as you want. It's a really great way to do it. And really what you're looking for is the Ogre Blade. That's the really good, I should say that. It's Crest of Fire and the Ogre Blade. So here's the Crest of Fire. You can see the stats are just crazy on this thing. It also reduces your RT, which is nuts, by I think it's like 10. Let's we'll just show you that here. So we'll go down to clear. You notice there, so at my RT actually it gets 7 added to it. Yeah, actually it's saying it only, oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is only 7 RT change. You can see there the weight is 7, and it's a -7, which is kind of crazy. For whatever reason, I thought that was 10, but that's not. That's only 7. Either way, an amazing item, and then as I always do, I like the little bit of luck that you get on it as well. But really, really crazy. It'll speed up your unit, right, and make them get turns faster, which is why I've got this on Denim. The other thing is you get the Ogre Blade. Actually, I don't think I have an Ogre Blade on me anymore. I think I used my last one. So I'll have to, we'll have to show that after the battle is over. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, that's what I thought. Right? Why else would I be here if not to get the Ogre Blade? But anyways, Blackmoor also drops a Heaven's Fork 100% of the time. So I should say he drops the Crest of Fire 100%. It's unique though, so you'll only ever get one. And then the Heaven's Fork he drops again 100% as well. So keep that in mind. But anyways, let's get this started. I'll talk a little bit about the first battle that I did here, and kind of I would say what was a mistake that I made. We can't actually, I can't actually scout this out, but one of the things to remember is that the victory conditions for this is just everybody. You have to wipe out everybody. The battle does not end when you beat Blackmoor, and I was under the impression that it did, so I thought that I needed to farm the items before I killed Blackmoor, which again was not the case. And this would have been a lot easier had I known that the first time. But my first battle, I really just did this with my undeads. I actually don't really think that was the better way to do it. It becomes kind of a battle of attrition if you go that route. which it normally is the case with undead, right? You're expecting, you know, lots and lots of units to die, and just kind of, you know, overcoming the enemy eventually. But the problem here is the enemies will summon, and so I don't really think that that's that great of a way to go. What we really want to do here is hit them hard and hit them fast, and I guess it's really more about, you know, getting units down really, really quickly, and not having to worry about them, you know, constantly getting back up. So yeah, I think this time I'm gonna take my pumpkin. I made a new pumpkin songstress, and I really like it so far. Sharon. Yeah, let's... Just trying to think of how I should set everybody up. This looks probably okay. I'll probably have to tweak, you know, character locations once we actually get in battle, but... Alright, let's turn off AI. Cancel off. So I've got, you can see here, I've got three matriarchs and one patriarch, and then I've got the two summoners, Olivia and Sherry, and then I've got Ravenous here just to do basically velocity shift, and then I've got my two songstress. I'm kind of planning on eventually moving Yuria to Shaman as well, and grabbing another pumpkin. But so this is a pumpkin head that actually I've already done a body swap on. Really the only difference here is that normally you wouldn't have Meditate 4 on a Songstress pumpkin. You would only have Meditate 4, but because I did the body swap with the Ogre Blade already, I've got that Meditate 4. So again, you know, it's a pretty minor difference, but anyway, so which, you know, you wouldn't normally be able to do if this was the first time you're doing this battle. But then of course I've got Dunham as Lord, and I've got Meditate for Conserve MP and Conserve RT. So let's do this. Let's get it started. Really, I think the thing that's going to make you successful in this battle is honestly taking out Blackmoor as quickly as possible. The guy hits like a truck, and he could, yeah, I mean, he can probably one-shot definitely some of my characters. Maybe not necessarily all of them, but yeah, he's just nasty. I also do have a Medusa shield on Ravenous, which I may try out here. We'll see. Of course, I didn't get any of my Meditate or Conserve MP to trigger, but you know, that's how it goes. Alright, so she got MP. I still need to do Ardent Conga though, unfortunately. She just isn't able to generate enough MP to use the ability that I want, which is actually, again, why I think that the pumpkin heads make better songstress than Yuria. I mean, she's faster, I'll give her that, but Meditate 4 is a big deal. So, alright, let's see. Do I want to just run up here? Probably not. So if I run up to the front, Blackmoor will probably... There's a good chance he'll kill or Sherry. So let's just blast this guy. All three. I should before I do anything else here. That we'll take a look here. I can't remember what this thing is called. What is this? This is the Witch Queen. So if you're running an undead army, you want to kill her first. She's got this banish ability, which is nasty, right? She'll just wipe out your undeads if they get knocked down. But basically, once you've taken her down, if you've got, you know, again, like mostly undeads, you can you'll basically win, right? It'll be really difficult to actually lose. But we're also looking for, we're looking for a bunch of different drops here. We're looking for the Ogre Blade, and then the Ogre Armor as well. So it's the Ogre Shield, the Ogre Helmet, and then the Ogre Armor. So basically it's a shield, helmet, and then, you know, a chest piece. The problem here is that it's the Lich King and the Lich Queen. It's both of these two. They basically have the same drop list. They both drop the Ogre Blade 50% of the time, so that's pretty easy to get, right? Unfortunately, though, the other three items, the shield, the helmet, and the armor, only drop at 5%. Now, what I did here was to just make sure that I did the three kind of separately, right? I did like I think I did actually like the helmet and the blade dropped at the same time, and I kept that. And then I farmed the other one for just, I think it was the armor. And then I actually had to come back in here again and get the shield separately. You know, you could try to get like the shield and helmet to drop at the same time, but the chances of that happening are insane. I don't think that that's a good way to do it. But you could get all 4 drops in one battle if you really wanted to try. But again, I don't think that that's worthwhile. So, and then again, Blackmoor himself dropping the Crest of Fire 100% of the time and 1 Heaven's Fork. So, anyways, let's keep going with this. I'll throw in some footage here too of all 4, or basically just obtaining the drops, and then I'll I guess finish the battle out, kind of, you know, as I've been doing here. Okay, so just wanted to cut in some footage here of obtaining the Ogre helmet. Drop rate is, you know, pretty bad, but there it is. Alright, tossing in the next clip here. I think I grabbed the armor and the blade. Yeah. Pretty sure that's what this ended up being. Let's take a look here. Indeed, both the ogre and the blade and the armor. I ended up getting the helmet off of the female Lich Queen, I think it was called. And unfortunately, though, because only the helmet dropped, I needed to get basically the ogre blade and the armor together, which made this a little bit more complicated, but it didn't take too long. So, anyways, that's gonna be it for these, I guess technically 3 pieces now. Okay, so next clip here is getting the ogre shield. So yeah, obviously not gonna end up being in the same battle. You know, there's 3 different pieces of loot here, and the chances of you getting like the ogre helmet and shield at the same time are not good. So this is a, you know, actually a second battle here with Blackmoor that I came back in here to get, you know, again the ogre shield, because I got there was the helmet first, then armor, now the shield. So you know, not too bad. 5% drop rate though, so you're looking at right around the same chances of a cursed weapon. So, you know, not great, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so back to it here. Let's keep rocking. I really do want to get Blackmoor down, and I think, look at that, that's a perfect spot for him. So got maybe a little bit lucky with him moving into that exact spot, but at this point now, we'll just start blasting him down. I'm sure it won't stay this way, right? I'm sure these, whatever these gremlin-looking thing, incubus, are gonna mess up my summons, but that's all right. So, basically at this point, I'm gonna start using Poised Arabesque. This ability is found in San Bronza, so I definitely, and I do think that, you know, doing San Bronza first is a good idea. You don't necessarily have to, right? I could have just used, I could have used the Pandario's Ardent Conga again, but Poised is just a little bit better. And so basically my 2 songsters will be able to keep everybody with mana from this point on. Yeah, and I gotta say, I really like it. One thing also that I'm gonna do here, which is a little bit cheesy, is I'm gonna use the Medusa Shield. Medusa Shield isn't actually available until you go into the deeper portions of Palace of the Dead. I think it's like floor 101 and 102. I don't remember where exactly, but there's Gorgons in there that drop the Gorgon's head, which then you can craft this shield, which is the Medusa Shield. This is going to look a little cheesy because I'm going to petrify these 4, but I just don't want to deal with them. Actually, I got that Lich Queen up there too. So again, keep in mind that if this is your first, you know, pass through here, it's not that likely that you'll have that ability quite yet. So you know, maybe a little cheesy that I'm using it right now, but I don't know. I just don't want to, yeah, I guess deal with those 4 quite yet. So alright, anyways, let's go up here. We'll grab this crit card. Oh shoot, she doesn't have any mana. No, we'll hold off on that. Grab the charge. Yeah, so now my summons are basically... I'm not going to be able to use my summons, really. Grab this auto card. You know, not a bad idea to try grabbing these cards, or whatever cards you can right now, because, well, I mean, for one thing, you don't want the enemies grabbing them, but also, these guys will probably start summoning, and it's going to get kind of crazy in here, right? We'll probably knock a bunch of these enemies down, and then they'll start summoning, and you know, we'll have to deal with them. You know, ideally, you want to focus on the casters. That's maybe obvious, but you know, if you can get them down. But also though, the problem is if you're trying to farm from them, you know, you can't really just blow them up and then, you know, okay, great, you know, now they're dead and I can, you know, whatever, finish the battle. The problem is you're trying to get those drops, right? And so, unfortunately, you know, a lot of the times you'll just have to kind of keep knocking stuff down and knocking stuff down, and they'll summon again, and you'll have to kill more, and you know, again, just kind of keep with it. The good part though, or the thing that, you know, that is important, is to keep making sure that you're grabbing the auto cards, right? So you keep getting meditate, or if you've got, you know, songstress like me, you can keep everybody's mana up, and that'll help too. One of the things that I kind of theorized about as well, but I never really tried it, was maybe a ninja with the reeking set, with that silence, you know, ability. I wish I would have tried that, because I think that could potentially work really, really well, right? So basically you send your ninja in, they've got really, really good movement, and then as long as you're getting, you know, you may need to grab an auto card, right, for your silence to proc. But you can land silence on these guys, and especially like Blackmoor, that just, it completely shuts them down. So definitely something I recommend. Now I have never, I've never seen Blackmoor drop a card, which I suspect that he doesn't. I think he might be programmed to never do that, right? Because he should have the Crest of Fire and that Heaven's Fork. So I guess just keep that in mind, right? Like, I want to say that it's possible, though I doubt that it is. I think it's probably likely that they, like, he will literally always drop that. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe just keep that in mind anyway. I think that most of the time, like, storyline battles, you know, if it's saying that it drops something, then it always drops, and there's no, you know, the enemies will never drop cards, but I always hesitate to say that because I haven't, you know, tried this enough to see. But yeah, he's down now, which is, you know, pretty great. He's the biggest threat. I think it actually makes the most sense right now to just take down one of the casters up there. Reason being, I really only need one of them to drop. And I don't want, you know, 2 of them summoning, which I don't think they'll both summon, like, on the same turn by any means, right? Like, I don't know what the trigger is. It's probably like something around the lines of, if there's only, what, 5 enemies or something on the field, then they'll summon. I'm actually gonna chariot this though. I want him to drop a bag just in case. I don't know. You never know. Something could go wrong, and I don't know. Maybe it's like really hard to get a bag. But I want to see him at least dropping a bag. Whoops! That's a bad spot to summon in. Okay, well, whatever. They both. Yeah, actually, that was a bad spot to summon in. If you summon and there's a body, right, like an undead body on the ground. The summon will kind of target the body, and so you'll do less damage with your summon. God dang, he's really being annoying. I mean, he is dropping at 50% of the time, so we really should be seeing drop. There's a bag. All right, that's good enough. who knows? I don't know, obviously, and I'm not going to be able to check right now if he actually dropped a blade, but and I should say that's the only thing that I need right now, right? I have the full Ogre set already, which I hopefully remember to squeeze the footage in here, which I probably will. Hopefully do. Now there's a really good chance right now that she's gonna summon, and actually there's really nothing I can do about that anyway. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? We'll see though. We'll see if she even summons. She may just try to nuke. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh Jesus. Uh-oh, that's scary. Picks up a crit card. And didn't crit anyway. Okay, no big deal. Alright, so now this is... I don't know if this is a great time to try to knock her down, but let's try that. He might be able to actually pick up the bag, too. I think he's got enough movement. Which also, you know, really, really good idea to have flying. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. Wow, a double drop. Okay, well... you know, I do have the shield already, so that's going to get converted to Goth. But now at this point, you know, I'm basically done. All I really need to do is finish everything off. If that didn't work out, obviously I'd have to chariot and, you know, just try from a different spot. But, you know, that's the other great thing about this, too, is that if it's really difficult for you to get this stuff down, I would say that, you know, having that ninja, again, my opinion is, you know, get yourself a ninja. Maybe you don't necessarily need the stinking or the reeking set on it, but I think that would really help. But yeah, you know, if you can take down a couple of the casters and then maybe get that final one silenced, then it won't be able to summon, you know, more allies in. And then you could just keep knocking the enemies down and thinning them out, and then, you know, hopefully you can get into a good position to try farming a drop. So that's my recommendation anyway. You know, there's other ways also to get silence. Kashua as a dark priest would actually work really well here as well. Probably, honestly, better than the ninja now that I'm thinking about it. So she could be, you know, dark priest with the reeking set. You could just sneak her right up in there and try silencing, right? Hopefully you can get a couple of auto cards along the way, and you know, that would probably work out really, really well. That might be one of the better setups now that I'm thinking about it. I should have tried that. Never even thought about it until just now, though. But yeah, yeah, wow, I really should have done that, actually. I feel like that could be really good. You know, start her out on the front, or in the front line with that reeking set, just send her right up the gut and, you know, give that a shot. Maybe even, you know, a ninja, I should say when referring to the ninja, a ninja with a bow. Maybe that was obvious, but, you know, that'll really make it a lot easier for you to get in there, or, you know, get at least close enough. I mean, you could see there, too, Blackmoor really stepped in front really early on, and so it should be pretty easy to get that. I'm gonna just... Oh, let's do this. I was gonna nuke my patriarch up there, but I don't need to right yet. And hopefully ever. But yeah, I don't know, I think a lot of really good options. I mean, this is just the, like, superior firepower option. And also, you know, I've got the Medusa shield, which, you know, has completely shut down 4 of these guys, which is, let's be honest, is really nice. But yeah, a lot of different, I think, potential strategies. I think my sloppiest and most time-consuming battle was the first one. Maybe that's obvious. Part of it was learning, but also part of it was just using undead is not that great, especially because I didn't really have, you know, strong ones. I had a lot of God, what was I using? A bunch of Terror Knights, which, you know, I don't know, kind of can cut their damage down, right? If you can get them to, I guess, live long enough to get a fear on them, but oftentimes they, you know, they get knocked down, and then when they stand up, they don't have any MP to do anything with, and then they just get, you know, obliterated again by yeah, the casters. So I think that casters are the way to go here. At least that was my, or has been my experience so far. But yeah, I mean, do what you got to do. Whatever it takes to get this guy down. All right. Well, I got a. Ooh, that's a good summoning spot. Cool. Also, you know, a caster that's able to walk on lava is good here too. Especially so when you're actually trying to set up your drops, right? Because, you know, most of the time what you're going to be doing is charioting, and you know, you'll need to try different spots. Well, the problem is if you don't have lava walk, you can see here, the areas or the spots that I can actually try from are really limited. And you know, most of the enemies are all crowded up here on the lava as well. Sometimes a dragon will, you know, screw around in here, but that's something that I definitely recommend. So having like you know, the lava, I think they're, I can't remember the name of them, but right, I think they're lava boots. Having a pair of those, and then having wing shoes as well, or a wing ring, so that you can, you know, end your squares in the lava is definitely a good idea. Shoot, I can't really do anything back here. This guy's just in the worst spot, or I'm in the worst spot with my other characters. Oh, boom. Go Sherry. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's definitely the most smooth run I've ever had here, but you know, if you've got the damage, it's really easy, but if not, there's the Ogre Blade. Or another one, I should say. Yeah, boy, I guess I got technically 2 to drop there. But, yeah, anyways, that's it for Blackmoor. Let's take a look at these items. Now, my understanding is the, oh, let's see, do I want to return to the world map? Yes. Yeah, I guess you don't need to return if you're planning on, and actually, yeah, so, honestly, I really shouldn't have done that. Chapter 2, CODA, I don't even think it'll give you that option right there. I don't think it'll prompt you. I think what happens in CODA Episode 2 is as long as you haven't gone down to, you know, floor 98, you'll, yeah, and I guess headed it, or if you go to floor 98, it will basically take you into the, whatever, floor 101. Whereas, again, since this is going to look a little bit weird, right, because I think I didn't actually do that after resetting my CODA Episode 2. But yeah, anyways, you know, it won't ask you for that. And that's, you know, again, if you're in CODA Episode 2, make sure that you're not returning. Make sure then that you go and take on floor, like, 98, right? And that'll be the next video, but let's take a look at this ogre stuff. I'm not sure if I've got it all, but, well, I should say, I know I've got it all, but I don't know if it's equipped or not. But anyways, here's the different classes. Let me take a look at the set bonus again here too. 1 second here, because I always forget. My bad on that. Sorry if it's taking a little bit, but let's do it. Ogre set. Unfortunately, okay, so in order to make the set, you need to equip 3 of the items. You can either do the Helm Armor Blade or Helm Armor Shield. It says it gives a huge boost to magical defense and a large boost to physical attack, magic attack, and physical defense. It's a good set. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it kind of wrecks your luck. So honestly, I haven't really been using it. I should at least give it a shot and see what the damage is. But, excuse me, wow. For a caster, you know, you can probably do like, well, let's see here. Let's see who can use the Ogre Shield. Ugh, this is the problem with having way too much crap in my inventory. There's the blade. And the blade's a 2-hander, so the stats are okay. I don't know. It wrecks your avoidance, though, and resistance, which is a little weird, but And then it's got that body snatch ability on it. I'll eventually do a full guide on body snatch itself, because that's a whole deal, right? And it's really cool. But let me find this shield. Oh, there it is. Ogre shield. Ugh, Lord can't even use it. Okay. So you're probably better off doing this on probably like a rune fencer would be my guess. It's probably the best setup. Yeah, so I don't know. Up to you on what you want to do with this. That's the biggest issue though, right? So if you're gonna do the two-hander, then you don't need to worry about the shield, and then you could use this on what would the different classes be here? You could do warrior, terror knight, what is that? Dragoon, lord. If you're gonna use the two-hander, you could actually do this with Lord Denim. Though I don't really like, two-handers because I wouldn't be able to use a staff and extend his range, right? Paladin, I guess, can use it as well. White Knight, and then it looks like Ozma, right, could use it in her Knight Commander. And then it looks like, what is that? That's probably like Hoplite or something like that. Or Juggernaut? It's probably Juggernaut, actually, can probably use it as well. But, yeah, anyways, up to you on whether or not you want to use that. Let's take a look at the chest piece, if I can find. There it is. Oops, the wrong button there. The resists are kind of crazy, which in most cases don't really matter. But Paralytic Wave. Oh, also does the helmet? Yeah, helmet's got Torpor. Yeah, you can cast Torpor with it, which I don't really know if it's that great, but maybe. Paralytic Wave seems more interesting though. I actually really like that ability, and 3 free casts is kind of a big deal. So really anybody that's got maybe a decent amount of mind should be able to land that. Unfortunately, again though, -5 luck on that. And then what was the boot shield? Oh yeah, that's basically it, right? We already went over the shield and the blade, and then there's the helmet and the armor. So I don't know. It seems to me like a pretty decent rune fencer set. You could probably make it, you can make it work with maybe a Dragoon, maybe a Terror Knight, right? And then just instead of using the shield, use the two-hander. But anyways, that's going to be pretty much it for this one. I don't have a whole lot else. That is the Blackmoor fight, and especially if you want to do any body swapping, get used to it. You're going to be down there a few times probably, which I've been doing, and I kind of like it. So anyways, that's going to be it for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.